In 3, 2, 1.
My ancestors are smiling on me, Imperial. Can you say the same? All right. Oh, this is where things are gonna get a little messy here. So let me go through my things here. Control-Shift-B. Have to use this button. P and K here, but yeah. 1 second. Poking, or being poked by admins, making sure everything's going fine. I am just going through everything here. Again, we're making sure everything's good for, you know, the future rounds as well. Okay. T's the toggle markers, so I want names on. Control click, I can choose a specific unit. And I can increase my speed with various buttons here. Again, it's a new interface I gotta go through. Which is part of the fun.
Yeah, that's true.
And I do need to locally mute myself again, because I don't want to hear people when they die. But otherwise, we're looking at Op4 starting to push everything out here. Hides HUD, which is that. I think it tells me who kills me, which is hilarious. I'm just trying to figure out how to increase my render distance. There we go. That did it. Because F1's the control menu here. All right, guys. Let's go. So we've got some Russian scouts already heading across. We hear some heavy assets going. Let's see. Looks like there was already something taken out over here. Okay. So they just did a hard freeze. Maybe they reported some desync. There is a artillery truck right here firing down on the player base here. That is Ilbenex community, I believe, with Joda and whatnot. It's one of the Czech ones. So we have Op4 artillery in play. We've got Blue 4 coming up with one of the APCs. The Symphony of Russian Voices. Yeah, right. We have one of the checkpoints up right here. We have another checkpoint over here. Again, the 3 checkpoints are the main capture zones. And we have a 3rd checkpoint over here. They have a lot of fortifications and bunkers around. Looks like this checkpoint in particular. But here's a look at their kits and whatnot. They're building up additional trenches and fortifications. Excuse me. I think that he's purple because they cable tied him. You got gases coming around. You got one of the APCs. Oh, this is the one with the McLean on it. And the arrows represent players here. $50 frames for 220 people across Roche. I mean, that's just incredible. So you got a gas popping over there. No one looking in that direction, though. That gas is going to be able to get through fine. You got 2 Op4 infantrymen over here. That hill is going to block that APC's line of sight, though. as they now divert. One of them does... Oh, that's an RSHG launcher, though. That's an anti-building / anti-infantry, not an anti-vehicle launcher. And you got the main convoys coming out here. You got T-90s, followed by Urals for utility. You got that MTLB, BMP-2 leading the way as well. Multiple BMP-3s coming in, though. So these are just scouts trying to move up. As you have this one APC coming around. But let's go ahead and look at that Russian convoy coming in. BMP-3s, the late model. Oh my gosh. Again, kid at a fucking candy store right now. There's the Command BMP-2. There's one of our T-90s. There's another T-90. We have a full triple R contingency right here of Op 4 Vics coming around. We have another BMP-3 that's over here. Blue 4 dismounted what appears to be a whole squad over here with one of... Ah, so this is a Crow system, Vic. We at least have the MG3. I don't know what that other shtick is there. Oh, AT fired. It was just short, though. That was probably a Panzerfaust. Now they got shots coming in. More AT came in. It was just short. BMP-3's trying to turn around. Gunner seems to be having a miscommunication or a mechanical issue. Can't seem to turn that gun around. It could have been a reloadable Carl Gustav, though. Nope, I see the dropped launchers. But now that BMP-3, it looks like it quickly moved to a position of cover. That gunner is still having a mechanical issue, though. But look at the battle line that Blue 4 has made around the objectives themselves. All right, gunner looks like he's repaired it. Now he's looking around. And these Blue 4 guys are in trouble. They don't really have anything heavy to take out that BMP-3 now that they've missed a few launches there. So they're just trying to hunker down in these buildings to avoid its line of sight.
Let's get a little warm up.
But it's looking around otherwise. I don't see any support coming up to assist it, and I don't see any Op 4 support heading down, though we do have a tank back here, and it is looking in that direction to provide overwatch. Senpai's got to be careful, though, of overpressure if it fires in that direction. Roche does have a river that goes through it, but I'm not sure it's going to be playing today in terms of anything important. Now you got that BMP-3 firing into this barn area. But it looks like it didn't cause any casualties. Firing into this other barn. Again, Blue 4 is quick to take cover. Oh, heavy round just came in. Thankfully, it went on the interior of the barn, and it got absorbed mostly in there, but this combo here needs to potentially pull back. You have this Vic coming around. I'm not sure if it has an AT launcher on the side, but even if it tries to go around and flank, it could potentially be sniped by that T-90. So yeah, look at all these battle lines that Blue 4 has made. Various picket lines to try to stop stuff. Oh my god, look at this. You have a Leopard 2 coming down to the coast, and you have an Op 4 recon team here in Agaz. They're trying to move up with an RPG-26. I don't think that's going to do anything to a Leopard 2 unless they hit it square in the engine, but even then, it's going to be very minimal. Uh-oh. Now they're turning out. There goes that gas. Op 4 staying low. It's going to keep putting me to where my body was on the top right of the map. More rounds coming in. The Leopard doing the smart thing of not charging that position, knowing there might be dismounted infantry that could flank them. We got some recon infantry over here moving up to infantry on the Blue 4 defensive line. You got a Gaz driving up to where a Martyr is, but that Leopard is now pulling away. Let's look at this real quick, because we're about to see a Gaz potentially cross the line of a Martyr. Looks like it's watching more left, though. So this Gaz was probably able to get a garrison here. And I believe all 220 players are on. So it's... there were backups, too. Because there's like 230 people in the TeamSpeak. Technically, we're at 224, or 22, excuse me, because of myself and another admin, Kotsi, who not only had to execute me, but I believe he is handling the server-side stuff. Meanwhile, looking over here, I think these guys were able to get one of the Blue 4 players. Yep, so you see his name blacked out. And I'd imagine the other Blue 4 players heard those shots. And they're staying low otherwise. BMP3 is pulling back. Let's look at the map right here. Only 2 Op 4 were left here. Looks like the rest of Blue 4 pulled back. I don't see any blacked out names indicating there's no bodies, so it was just a quick skirmish with no casualties on either side. But we have a main Russian force starting to come in here behind where that scout team of 3 is right there. So this will be the main push. What I'm really concerned about is it looks like Blue 4's got, you know, a pretty nice 360 security line here, whereas Op 4 is going to go for 2 lines of forces right here. Also, I just heard a tank fire. Oh, that's their artillery firing. I can actually trace the lines over here. Those might be landing really short. No. Oh, wow. So they're hitting this town with artillery here. That's a good call. Most of Blue Force pulled out. That is interesting. But with this, Op 4 has 2 major lines that are going to come in. One right here and one right here, to then move to these 3 checkpoints to capture them. Blue 4, in having all of these units spaced out like this, have a unique opportunity to flank around and hit these attacks as they push in. They need that level of coordination, though. And with 110 players, that is at least a company element of infantry, of multiple platoons. A platoon's about, 40 to 50 players with all of the armor support. So you probably have 2 or 3 mechanized or motorized companies between the Milans, the Fouché PCs, and some transport Vics as well. So getting command to then coordinate everyone to maneuver around is going to be difficult for Blue 4 to do. But if done correctly, they could envelop the attack wave and completely engulf them. We have a BMP-3, a T-90, another BMP-3. This is another one of Op 4's motorized platoons here. Or actually, this would be a mechanized one, my bad. 3 BMP-3s with a T-90, one of the 3 that they have on attachment. Also, I don't think this is stated anywhere, but this is a one-life scenario, which is why you don't see, you still see that blacked out name right there. It looks like they're on his body. Oh, you can tell these are reconnaissance, dude. Look at that VSS. Yeah, so that's probably why Blue 4 didn't react, because they didn't even hear those suppressed gunshots. Wow. You got more shots coming over here, and that's another kill for Op4. Hermes was taken out. Again, suppressed gunshots. Marshall, man, good shooting. He's got a PKP gunner behind him with a scope ready to provide cover fire if he can't get the kill. And I'd assume he has a PSO-1 scope, which is the scope meant for both the AS-Val and the VSS system. Oop, didn't mean to click up there. Again, never touched this interface before, getting used to the controls, but it's going to be what we're going to be using for the next 2 op days between today and next Sunday. Looking at the map again here. These forces are slowly coming in. They're starting to line everything up right there. We've got the Martyr there as well. The Gaz mounted up. Hold on, some autocannon fire. It's landing out over here. See the tracers coming in. I can't tell if he's engaging the guys back here, if he was going for that open road, but they're doing some heavy suppression right now. That would be this Martyr. But no casualties. Interesting. Blue 4 maneuvering around right here. It might be that. No, there's a little bit of a... It goes slightly uphill right here, so the Blue 4 to the south can't see anything up here. But now that Op 4 knows that this position is locked down... One second. Ghosty, this is the with the 15-minute delay because he's on the stream too. I did quickly find the F1 thing, but I appreciate you guys helping me out in the delay nonetheless. I do appreciate it. But with that autocannon going, Op 4, this push is going to be staggered here as they now try to figure out what to do about that. Vic, you got some of the BMP3s that have pushed up right here. The BMP2K, the Command Vic, also down right here. But vehicles are going to be overwatching this massive open area. We might see an exchange of autocannon fire. But now we wait with bated breath. Looking at the rest of the map here. So that Crow system, Vic, right here is the Dingo. And it's coming around. Op 4 does have a good set of defenses around. Actually, I don't see... Okay, no, there are artillery Vics over here now. So they've got a defensive line set up to prevent anything from trying to rush and engage their artillery Vic. That's smart. That is very, very smart. Otherwise, everything looks rather quiet here. Still have that recon infantry moving around this forested area where they have spotted German players. And we have Russian forces coming around this side to look around. We do have one of the APCs going way north to potentially start an encirclement or attacking on the rear. We also have one guy caught way out in the open over here. That is Siva. Though he is set to an AI, which I think means he got disconnected. And could potentially reconnect, so we'll have to see how that goes. But Op 4, again, I really got to commend what Op 4 has been doing. They've been sending a few scouts before they send their main force on a lot of these lines. Then again, these guys, I think that guy's dismounted just to help scout for this tank right here. But for most of, if not all of their maneuvers into what they believe to be German-controlled territory, they've sent in a few people first to then, you know, reconnaissance the route instead of going in blind. When you have the numbers for a 2-hour event like this, you need to pull that, because otherwise you're just going to go in there and get absolutely schwacked. Alright, so now we got some Blue 4 guys starting to come up here. In the middle of these Op 4 formations here. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know why my screen just blanked twice. That was part of the game, not my actual monitor. I know the difference because Darktide will randomly make my screen black out for like half a second. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I think some of Blue 4 here is starting to wise up to the fact there's Op 4 with him, because I think he's trying to get into radio contact with his buddies, and he can't find him. And if he sees a body, then he'll know. Yeah, he's looking around. Did he spot Krill? Might have spotted Solar's body there. Oh. That was the tank firing afar here. So that was the BMP-3 firing its main cannon, arcing these shots over. I think they're trying to hit these defensive trenches here. But those shots are either over, because I don't see anything else that could be engaging from back there. There we go. So you got your full list of units here. I'm still getting used to this interface, but wow. Again, 106 players still alive versus 109. We've seen 2 casualties. Now 3, actually. Prudence got hit and is down right here. Oh, man. Again, Russian scouts are doing a great job. And then I gotta be careful with the zoom, though, because it doesn't tell you. I think there is a reset button, because this reminds me of Splendid Camera. Yep, so that switches the nearest unit. And then you can toggle between everything there. That is quite nice. Let's see. Control H to hide 3D tags. All right, that's useful. Getting a feel for this interface, because I did use this interface, I think, 3 years ago. And then space to get out. All right, cool. I'm relearning everything, just a little rusty, but thank you for bearing with me. All right. We have an unconscious guy over here. Looks like he was sniped. This was, I think, the AI, but it doesn't say AI anymore, so I think he was able to reconnect and then immediately got shot. So 107 to 102 players right now. Also have another one over here. That is a Russian that was spotted and eliminated. Don't know what got him, though. Might have been friendly fire. I think we're having more artillery firing. Hold on. I'm a little worried about this angle, though, because this appears to be going into friend... No, might be going into enemy. That, I think, is actually being called in on this fortified position over here. Yep. Kron might be in trouble. Looks like it's landing. Oh, no, that's on target. Considering the spread of that weapon, yes, this is on target. Because you saw the tracers right there, but it adjusted over there. So now this position's getting hit with artillery, and Kron's trying his best to crawl away. We'll see if he gets lucky or unlucky here. Now this is interesting. We have an Op 4 Martyr pushing this position over here. I'm not sure where Op 4 security is. They do have a T-90. I think they just spotted it. Oh, okay, well, going into a unit also reset my camera, which is nice. Yep, so that tank had sightlines on the Martyr. I think just took a shot at it. Might be detracked. That Martyr's in a lot of trouble. It's blind firing now. It's trying to return fire. They got an AGS firing in that direction. That Martyr's taking a serious amount of hits here, though. So you can still hear the internals of the Vic. That is a glitch with this. I just have to go up to an infantry guy, go up to him, and that fixes the internal audio sounds. You got a German player over here. He just fired! What? No, okay, my bad. So I PID'd with the weapon. That Martyr goes up. So that was a Russian player that stole one of the German AT weapons there and fired over. I thought that was a potential friendly fire thing, but no, okay. That is going to alert all the Blue 4 players here, though. They're going to try to confirm where that launcher sound came from. Oh, man. So you got another Martyr pushing up. I think that was one of 4 Martyrs that Blue 4 had. But Op 4, I mean, just look at this battle line. It is incredible. Hey, Sylvia. Welcome. But, I mean, right now we're at 100 players left on Op 4, so they've taken 10 casualties. Op 4's only taken 4. And let's see, you do have that Foosh on the north with the Milan ATGM launcher. Might be able to get around the rear. The Dingo's going around as well. But Op 4, I mean, they've got a really great battle line going here. Now, this is where it could get a little bit messy because we see autocannons firing into this territory here. But there are both Russian and German players, Op 4 and Blue 4. So, crossfire is very, very likely. I think they're trying to kill this guy right here. But you can hear all those rounds coming in. Oh, man. He's trying to engage whatever's up there. I think that's a Vic, though. Nope, that is an infantryman, and he's now pulling back. Definitely a squad leader or a scout, because he has that long-range radio. Actually, no, they said there were radio men slots in the squad, so he's probably that. You have the BMP-2K here trying to suppress this tree line. There's more Russians in here, though, than Germans, admittedly. And again, we have the 15-minute delay because this is a Russian event. And as we've said in the past, there's a high degree of stream sniping in Russian events, so we want to make sure that that is prevented. Now, what I'm curious about is we have a Martyr. Oh, yeah, speak of the devil. It spotted these Russians moving in, just killed the 4th guy in line. Now these guys are quickly getting down. But now it's starting to engage other forces here, so we need to see a Russian vehicle come up to assist, and we do. It's a T-90. Again, Op 4 has been doing a great job with their supporting elements in their armor of just bringing them up when they need to take out where Blue 4 puts their Martyrs as picket forces here. And now this Martyr is not going to stand a chance. There she goes. That is the 2nd out of 4 Martyrs to go down. And Op 4 still maintains a very healthy armor ratio here compared to Blue 4. Because they still have all other BMPs. Oh, no. It's the wrong button. That's fine. Uh-oh. Dun-dun. Dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, whoa, whoa! He evaded, but it wasn't enough. Oh, the evasion could not help him. Writing down the timestamps here. God, this is going to be some fun footage to edit later. That's for damn sure. It's going to take me a while, though. So we're at 97 to 104 players. Op4 maintaining a very healthy lead for the moment. But even having a 7-player lead right now, it's negligible, and it's 110 versus 110. But it cannot be discounted that Blue 4 have lost 2 of their APCs, compared to Op4 still at full strength for vehicles. -1 Gaz that was engaged by a Leopard a little while ago. You have some Op4 scouts potentially going to run into a Blue 4 Dingo squad over here. I'm surprised they're abandoning the Crow system. I would probably keep that, because that's great Overwatch. But yeah, you've got... Oh, both Leopards that Blue 4 has are coming around to flank. They're going to put those right on the offensive instead of on the defense. I agree with that pick, to be perfectly honest. Having them on the flank and starting to try to pick off where Op4 might have their artillery support and their utility group, because we saw that triple Ural, actually it was 2 Urals and a Gaz for vehicle triple R. I think that's a great call to make. Dossie just poked me saying if I can switch by... Oh, cool. I figured as much. But, that means I have to sift through, you know, about 200 plus players right now to find the one I want. But that's fair. It's good to know, especially when we get to the final parts of it, where we only have, you know, maybe 30 or 40 players still alive. When it gets to squad v squad.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
But I'll be really curious to see where these 2 Leopards come around on. But if they can be thrown into the fight early on and start finding and eliminating where Op4 have some of their back utility assets, I think knocking out the enemy artillery position will be great. Uh-oh. Shockers LT, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Oh! Is that Marshall? Yes, it was. You see his tracers. Again, the VSS doing work tonight. I mean, I guess, no, for me it's still the morning, but hey, it's late in Russia right now, Moscow time. And Monty has no idea that a guy might have gotten dropped right next to him. Still technically only knocked uncon, but he is unlikely to wake up. That was multiple shots of 9.3 millimeter there. Here's the bush getting knocked out. Op4 being slow to move up. I do appreciate the level of caution they're giving, though, but they've been making progress in the past 15 minutes. Blue 4 had some battle lines and some picket forces set up. They've now been knocked out, and Op4 is within about 2.5 kilometers of their endgame goals, which are these checkpoints. And Blue 4 doesn't have a lot of resistance in the way of this main force. Again, Blue 4 might need to start focusing on trying to encircle and eliminate, but it looks like you're starting to get that on the northern side. Op4 have some picket forces over here to cover their flank, which you got to commend, but Blue 4 is just doing these massive flank arounds. Oh, wow. So the scout forces I was trying to track over here, they engaged Blue 4. Got Narky down, but it is Arta and Blade coming around here. Again, we got a VSS in play. And we have an AK-74M. But those reconnaissance forces by Op4 have just been doing work tonight, installing whatever Blue 4 might come out with. But what I'm curious about is these guys... This is where that one Dingo Vic with the Crow system, just to, you know, get in there and look around with it without putting any risk to the gunner would be really useful. Or at least they'd have a vehicle close by where they can just pop smoke, load everyone up, and drive away if they don't want to deal with the PvP. You know what I mean? So that's going to keep these guys pinned. But mathematically, if you can only send 2 guys out to pin down a squad of 6 to 8... in various areas outside of the AO, that's also going to do a great job for you. But look at this. This group's starting to flank around to the south. I think they're going to try to loop around, come in through this forested area, and then move in through these forested areas on the entire opposite flank of this main battle line to deliver a pincer maneuver. And that is going to be spectacular. We got a grenade that just got thrown out. Anarchy just got woken up by snow, or he woke up on his own and now he's doing medical. They're trying to throw some grenades out here as we have some Op4 scouts pushing out. Oh, whoops, I misclicked over here, my bad. Wow, hold up, we got some Blue 4 guys right on top of Blade's position. Arta's getting into a crossfire here. Blade, though... Gotta be careful because he's got Blue 4 right next to him. Blue 4 might be tracking. Oh, they might catch Blade here. Blade's in trouble. Marvin's gonna have a sightline on him. Yep, he gets knocked out. Tree goes down, but these 2 guys were taken out by Arta, and I think Arta was actually firing at Blade. Blade is now dead. And a little bit of a blue-on-blue incident. Another grenade goes off on Blade for short measure. Now they're suppressing that tree. Fun fact, if you kill or knock someone out and something gets knocked over, like a tree or a wall, then you know you at least knocked them unconscious or killed them. Little metagame fact for you from a Zeus that's been doing this since 2016. Now, if you're not playing with Ace and there's no ragdoll, then you know you killed them, because that item knocking over knocks over because it detects the physics of a body, and the body only has physics that knock things over and collide if they are ragdolled, which means they either died, or if you have Ace and have uncon on, knocks them out. Fun fact. And remember, in Arma 3 PvP, knowing is half the battle. Arta's trying to push now. Move up and find Anarchy's body. Anarchy already got knocked out, so it wasn't that hard to at least pain knock him or kill him. But actually, Arma 3's damage is really interesting when you think about it, because to kill a player, what it considers is where you hit the player and what of the 2 systems in Arma 3 Ace the damage model is. So you can either set damage to be one of 3 systems, actually. It's basically based off of where you hit them, and then based off of fatal wounds in terms of... just the amount of total damage, or you can set it to either. Basically, what I mean is, if you mag dump a guy, if you set it one way, the mag dump will kill him if you hit him 5 times in the chest. Or if you set it the other way, the mag dump to his chest might not kill him, you might need a headshot, but the chest will heavily knock him out. Or you could set it to both. It's sum of trauma or fatal source, if I remember correctly. But actually, if we were to look right now, I can show you what I mean under Ace Medical. So we can see how this system is set up. So yeah, always player fatal injury. So if you get headshot, you get headshotted. It's not limping. Where is she? Oh, reopening wounds. That's fair. Oh, where is it? I'll only give this another 10 seconds to look, but I'm trying to see where that option went. Fatal damage source, that's it. So they have it set to either. So basically, if you take 5 shots to the chest or 1 shot to the face, you're dead. Which, you know, for an Arma 3 PvP between 220 players is understandable. You make that one mistake, you're dead. Makes complete sense in my book. But if that doesn't kill you, the only other way you quote-unquote take damage is by blood loss. Godfrey just got spotted and taken out here. I do love that Arda has taken a G36. That is going to confuse audio PID with the Blue 4 players, and they're going to second guess those shots if they've memorized what a G36 sounds like and say, wait a minute, that sounds like one of our guns. Why do we hear that? And you would be surprised how effective that is in events like these. You need that split-second hesitation on your enemy because that gives you that split second to engage them before they react. Similar when we do the SOG Vietnam stuff on Sundays with Artsy Columbia. The point man guy always wears that pith helmet because that pith helmet is what the NVA wear. And when SOG operated in Vietnam way back when, that's what they did to give that split-second hesitation to the PAVN or VC of, wait, is that an actual friendly because he's wearing a friendly helmet? And that split second would give him that ability to take him out with a suppressed gun before anything bad happened. To the SOG team. Leopards are now completely behind the line here, so we'll have to see where they come in. Probably another 5 minutes from the move-in. We got a Dingo coming in as well. We got a deployed squad right here. A little worrisome, though. We do have a BMP-3, actually. Wow, no, there's, that was the Loosh, I bet. Yeah, that was the Milan Loosh. That got taken out. The infantry are now trying to ride this little berm over here to displace to the east. But that just goes to show you how OPFOR have security on either side of their formation, but this security extends multiple kilometers out, trying to lock down any open fields to prevent Blue 4 from directly attacking the flanks of this attack line to bog down that actual assault. So that's great. That is honestly great. But as you're now seeing these guys starting to move south, BMP is actually dismounted here. It's looking for Blue 4 over here since these guys reported that they took fire, those two scouts. So you're just going to see this force move in, probably move through Rautzlingen, and then coming from the north, this group's going to flank all the way around or potentially flank down here to still support and take the town of Hanstent. And then from there, they'll move in, or it'll continue to flank around, go to Shlesnekia. Again, if I open that butcher shop, and then move into the actual checkpoints. So I would say OPFOR has really commanded the battlefield in this attack, and they are now moving their artillery, I think because they got reports of the northern flank being attacked here. They're moving that artillery further south now to put it out of harm's way. But right now, we're at 102 OPFOR players to 87 Blue 4. So that number advantage now starting to get to 20% here for OPFOR's lead, and that's very commendable. OPFOR maintaining a heavy number advantage as well as the vehicle asset advantage. And I'm going to be honest, I think part of the reason to blame is a combination of the map and just having this many players on. Because when you have 110 players on both sides, you have to be incredibly cautious where you send your units. So Blue 4, you know, they're doing these wide berths here, but even with some of them, they're still going to get intercepted by enemy Vic. So the only way Blue 4 can really be successful is if they dedicate some of their heavy-hitting assets to the counterattacks, which is why you have the two tanks coming around. But that means they have less of their armored vehicles for defense to stop the line from moving in. And you've seen that although Blue 4's kept their Martyr IFVs with the autocannons on picket lines to stop OPFOR from coming in, and they've gotten a good amount of kills here and there, OPFOR just calls up a T-90 and snipes it. And it goes down within a few minutes. So Blue 4 is really shafted here in the choices that they can make. It also doesn't help that OPFOR have scout groups with suppressed weapons, and they've been just winning both of those reconnaissance fights, at least ratio-wise. I mean, here it's 2-1 right now, but this was 6-2, and OPFOR's gotten it down to 2-1. So it's just a mess. But I believe it's Solitude on defense here and WOG on OPFOR. So I wouldn't say it's designed poorly. I think the balance choice of just giving OPFOR an extra tank and an extra few APCs has been fine. It's just, how do you defend against a company as a company without just outright defending, because if you outright defend and hold every single angle, Op4 can just, you know, mass their forces together and push. Maybe giving Blue 4 some defensive artillery. That's the only thing I can think of. If Op4 gets that 2S1 artillery tank, maybe Blue 4 could have used some too, but even then, I don't think it would have been that useful. But that would have forced Op4 to send forces in to try to hunt it down, but then Blue 4 would just put it smack dab in the middle of their defensive lines. Your bro and RMC squad right now on the battlefield. Nice, Evil. But I think for, you know, one round of 220 players out of everything to do, this has been more than fair because you have Roche as the first map choice. Open fields with a lot of wood line to work with to give the infantry something to do. I think is a great pick because you have all these open fields that vehicles can lock down, but in these forested areas, it still puts a heavy emphasis on the infantry attacking or defending, and we've seen some of the really close fights so far have been the infantry on reconnaissance fights or squads getting close in CQC. You have to worry when you add vehicles with autocannons like we saw in Ilbenek's 150-player operation with OCRA Framework a few weeks ago, that the vehicles will steal the show. And there were some complaints that that happened. But here it seems a lot more balanced of the vehicles are mainly either, if they engage infantry, they're quickly countered. But the infantry are basically here to just maintain the front line here. And I will admit it's still going to be a little slow on the infantry fighting, but we've seen plenty of healthy infantry engagement so far. And this has just been skirmishes outside of the main objective area. Next few fights are going to be full-on squad v squad. Vehicles are going to force the infantry to pull deeper into their defensive line so they're not picked off. And then the infantry on the offense are going to have to be sent in to clear it out. And that's where we're going to have the really heavy fighting. All right, we see some double tapping on Kron's body over here. Here's the guy that was taking artillery fire. And I guess at one point or another, he was eventually picked off. And now we've got Nile up here just double tapping to make sure he's dead. So good eyes on Nile there. But again, 102 to 86 players. Again, nearing a 20% number advantage on Op4. Now over here we have... Bison has really pulled back over here. Could be wrong on that name. I think it is Bison, though. So he's trying to lock down that area. Artest trying to move around, and we had Marvin come around, try to see if there's anyone else coming or pulling away. But look at this over here. Is that a grenade throw? No, that was a grenade by Derek here. He knows there's a Blue 4 guy here. He just took another grenade. And this is the last Blue 4 guy here. There's a lot of shooting coming out of this angle. Oh my god. He's trying to make a run for it. I don't blame him. He popped smoke and he got out of there. Op4 didn't fully encircle him, though, so he's going to be able to get away. But yeah, in that situation, you are literally the last dude left. That is the best you can do in that situation. Look at him go. Immediately prone again. Trying to sneak around. We are 45 minutes into this mission, by the way. We have 71 minutes remaining. These are 2-hour events. But I'd say the first hour dedicated to maneuvering skirmishes. Great call on Op4's side. Blue 4 now trying to maneuver around. Tanks are still on the rear. We could see them come in at the last second and hit the rear of the Blue 4 Vix and completely help collapse the Op4 attack. But it's just going to depend on how well they are utilized. Now you got the BMP-3 coming up using the Martyr's Wreck as cover. Good call there. We're hearing some more artillery fire. No? Okay, so Blue 4 have mortars. All right, so I take back what I said earlier about them not having artillery. But look at all the art. Oh, my God. You think they have enough artillery? You think they have enough mortar rounds? Holy shit. All right, yeah, no, I take that back. I think this op is perfectly balanced for what it is. Because you got to consider there was no number advantage. So instead, they just gave slightly more assets to Op4. And that artillery did work. I think it killed Marshall up here. And you see the RMC guys are Op4 here. Someone said they have a buddy in RMC right now. Well, he might be dead. And I think he actually just left the server because I don't see his body there anymore. Oh, no, I hit the wrong button. Hold on. I think my interface glitched out there because my symbol just randomly disappeared. So, but I didn't hit H to hide the... Yeah, I didn't do Control H, so that was weird. But that's fine. Here, 1 second. 1 second, because I just want to address the Russian thing. Because again, normally this is an English-only stream, but today we're making an exception because this is one of the Russian community events. Alright, this is one of those legendary multi-hundred player events that I've always dreamed of covering. We have that opportunity between 2 Russian communities to do it. So please, guys, help me live my dream. You could do anything in chat. I wouldn't really care, to be honest. I'm just glad everyone's here. I'm glad we can all enjoy this together. BMP3 is now firing up in this tree line. I think they might have potentially spotted something over here. You got an autocannon firing over here as well. I think that's a martyr firing. It's really hard to tell. From the tracers, we have a BMP3 that was actually firing on that tree line. Okay, so maybe some misidentification. We got Spurov here that went down probably to a German sniper over on this defensive line. But again, infantry-focused fighting here despite all of these forces here. All right. Ooh, we got an AS Val in play right here. Nope, that's a VSS. My bad. I only saw the front of it, and I saw the wooden stock. But a VSS and an AS Val are practically similar, if not identical. Just slightly different hardware, but, you know, same magazine size, same scope, same caliber. Just, I think the VSS was meant to be with 10-round mags, and the AS Val was, it's a more modernized version of the VSS, and they put, you know, 20, and I've even seen 30-round mags for certain mods in Arma with VSSs, so no surprise there. Looks like, wow, so Ardo was, I think, able to find Bison and take him out. So now it's turned to 1v1. Marvin's pushed even further to the west here. Oh, look at this. Blue Force making their move with the tanks. Here's the thing, though. We have some rear security for Op4. They might have called this up to say that the Leopards are on the rear of Op4's battle line. Yeah, and you got a T-90 that's turned around to fight him. Tank PvP, let's go. Oh, but the Leopard got the first shot. I'm gonna check the map real quick. Is there any other armor support coming up here? We have the BMP-2K nearby. We have an MTLB. Otherwise, nothing else significant. And that T-90 is toast. Kassad is on fire. The crew is on fire. Dropping their weapons as they try to get down and roll around. Oh, the gunner gets launched out of the vehicle. He is dead. That's one of the 3 T-90s down. Leopard's getting a nice free kill on that. Might have taken a little bit of damage, but the crew is burning. Wow. All right. So I guess that was a little bit of Op4 cockiness with the fact that they've been doing so well. And those 2 Leopards were able to basically bundle up on that tank and eliminate. We got a BMP-3 back here. Now, the BMP-3s do have ATGM shells, which would be able to be guided in and hit the Leopards rather accurately. One shell went way off up there. Probably a misalignment of the gun last second or a ricochet off of a tree. Anything's possible. But with one of those T-90s down, these 2 Leopards can work together to hunt things down. We got another T-90 coming around on the north. Could try to flank around. We have that Dingo coming in as well. And now a lot of Op4's turned around here. This could be exactly what Blue 4 needs to stall the Op4 attack. Now, do I think this is going to go to a time play? No. It's 75, well, about 65 minutes remaining for OPFOR to move 2 kilometers. I don't think that's going to be an issue. What we do need to see, though, is these Leopards hunt down and eliminate as many OPFOR Vics as they can, so that the remaining 2 defensive Martyrs, we got one right there. There's another one somewhere around here, I think. I actually only see 1 crew, so it might have just been 3 Martyrs at the start instead of 4. So we just need to basically let that Martyr lock everything down, but hunting all these BMP3s is going to be painful because those BMP3s also have those ATGM rounds, as I mentioned, so they are still a major threat to the Leopards. And, well, the BMP3s can guide them in, similar to the Marauder launchers on the Martyrs. Or not the Marauder, the Milans, my bad. Milans are ATGM, so both sides have IFEs capable of hitting and eliminating these tanks, and they just need 1 shot guided in to hit properly. So we got 1 Leopard turned around. Both Leopards are turned around now. Might have gotten a report that that tank was coming in because this infantry group hears that armor coming around. You can hear it faintly. And this Dingo is looking in that direction, so they might have spotted the T-90 coming up. T-90 stopping at this little, I guess, hamlet, for lack of a better term. So right off the bat, one of the Leopards firing up at Frost. And a tank round comes in, slams into the left side of that T-90. T-90 now trying to line up a shot here. Returns fire. And eliminates the Leopard. 1-shot wonder. Holy shit. Now you got the other Leopard trying to come up to find an angle. I cannot believe we just saw a T-90 one-tap a Leopard. Great shot. They know there's another one around here, though. They have to know. They've got infantry on sight lines here. Leopard fires and misses. T-90 now backing off. Frost is out here trying to get a sight line on it. Leopard's coming around on the right flank. Another hit, hits a tree, though. T-90 comes out. Point-blank shot. T-90 evades and is now trying to turn quicker than the Leopard. Oh my god. Frost gets knocked out to overpressure. Crew bails out. Oh my god. I can't believe it. The T-90 outmaneuvered the Leopard. Holy shit. Oh my god. Both Leopards taken out by a veteran T-90 crew in the LG community. Meanwhile, over here we have, what is that vehicle smoking? That appears to be another Fouche. A lot of dead German players here. As OPFOR were able to successfully counter this angle as well. I honestly do not see how Blue 4 is going to win this. It's eventual. We're 97-73. There's roughly a 25% number advantage. We have an AGS firing from this Gaz. So this is a little bit of a glitch there. Oh, he is headshotted by Patus over here. He's got a magnifier scope on his red dot. Great headshot there. But that is just an angle glitch of the Gaz, making it look like it's in a slightly different direction. Got some suppressive fire coming out over here as well. That sounds like from the vehicle crew and a PDW or SMG style weapon. Grenade going right off on Pirate, taking him out. Heavy CQC fighting here. I think that's an MP7 that he's got. A little bit of friendly fire here. OPFOR seems to be really well on the mind games here. We saw another frag go out. Oh, no, gets knocked out by a frag, but he gets another grenade kill on Alice there. Great fighting. And no, there is double tapped by an AK. By Killrock here. I don't know, that's a lot of Blue 4's ability to counterattack turned around, but you got multiple vehicles now sweeping around. Another T90. Oh, wow, all three T90s that are still up are back. Actually, no, it's three T90s that were in total. One of them is up right here. They might try to repair it. They do have repair capabilities because it was never fully destroyed. So Op4 might be able to get that third T90 repaired and in fighting condition as the other two T90s scope around with the BMP3. And they also got an MTLB doing Overwatch, knowing that it's not going to be too effective against enemy armor. So they just have it locking down angles to then report to the other vehicles. That's incredible. Meanwhile, right here, we have another BMP3 assisting in engagement right here. I think we have a Blue 4 player just trying to fire a GL. What on earth is that gun? That's a full-on marksman rifle. I forget what it's called, but it's basically a G3. But he is found and eliminated by Pitbull. Nice. Again, Op4 just seems to be outperforming Blue 4 in almost every engagement here. We hear some autocannon fire going off up here. As we have this BMP2, I think, firing all the way up in this position here. Now Op4 have turned around. They're engaging the Blue 4 stragglers over here. Neither side has triple digits anymore, but Op4 is still maintaining a very healthy lead. I'm almost out of water to hydrate. BMP3 is panic firing as it tries to get out of here. Realizing it might have overextended and it is at risk for AT. Or at least in this case, being engaged by AT. Ardith, as I came over, he was purple, but he woke back up. He got on a 1v1 with Marvin. The one-man wonder down there. And you still have heavy fighting on this battle line, as Blue 4 are desperately trying to break it. But now you got a BMP3 and two T90s coming around the southern side to potentially help with the main push over here. I think they're going to be a little more liberal with those tanks as they realize they have taken out all of Blue 4's armor. So now they can directly commit them to the offensive push. As the other pincer is caught up in this attack over here, utilizing those tanks. On the southern side here, look, they got a scout going up as well. All this open area to utilize those vehicles are going to really, really help them out in trying to push ahead. We got this dingo over here. Not sure if Op4 spotted it. But it's trying to come up along the flank to engage anyone. No, it's looking south right now. Trying to make sure that they don't get flanked from the rear, but I think right now it would really be much better if it was a supporting element back here instead. Earlier we saw Matt kill Daniato there. Just look at all the black text though. There's been a lot of fighting in this area here alone. This is where the first bit of engagement started with Op4 scouts engaging and eliminating a full squad over the course of 15 minutes. And now Blue 4 is trying to counterattack here as Op4 push their main lineup. But oh, Daniato, his killer there, Met, was just taken out by an autocannon from that BMP3. Again, the BMP3's doing work, locking down these open areas. Looking at the map, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't feel like Op4 has such a significant number advantage. It's 70 to 88 right now. Could still turn around because look at where Op4 is positioned right now. A lot of these fights are actually slightly in favor of Blue 4 here when you look at the numbers. Not considering that Op4 have assets in play. Also, did they repair the tank? Tank's over here now, which means they got it in moving order. They might need to pull it back to fully repair it, but you do have the fuel vehicle over here, indicating that they might have actually started getting some decent triple R on it. And you got the command BMP2 right there. So yeah, great coordination. And you have the artillery tank, yep, by the ammo Ural and the repair Ural. And it has been firing some shots over here. Might be trying to engage the town itself directly. We hear some autocannon fire coming in. I think my audio is muted. Because I was spectating Niall and he got knocked unconscious. So I just need to go to another player. I think worst comes to worst, I can always go down to the other player down there, the other admin that shot me in the face with the RPG-26, so we don't get that muted audio. But yeah, I think this full Russian team just got eliminated by that remaining martyr on the northern side of the AO right here. So Blue 4, they still have a dog in the race. That knocked it down to 87 players here. But again, these autocannons locking down these open fields, forcing the infantry to have to move through these forested bits. I think that's just a good call overall, because if you don't, well, they get sniped by Overwatch. Oh yeah, with the Blue 4 mortar pit, yep, a single grenade would cause a massive cook-off detonation. Especially with Ace and Ace cook-off. I could see it. Meanwhile, looking back here, though, it looks like Blue 4 actually were able to repel a lot of this attack. There's only one Op 4 guy left. Let's see, of the Fox community of Op 4. So yeah, you got a lot of Fox bodies here. But there's only one Blue 4 guy left as well, and that would be Lizowski. So he was looting Pirate's body. And we got Killrock over here as well, who's done a pretty wide flank around. Now, Op 4's got to be careful, though, because if Blue 4 is able to keep harassing the rear of Op 4's line, that's going to cause a lot of disconnect. But even then, we're still seeing some even trading. Blue 4 drops to 69. I think purple on that tab also represents how many people are unconscious, as well as the one admin spectator. So we have the mortar pit now engaging again. If this mortar pit's spotted early on, that could be devastating. But looking at these rounds... Oh, wow. Those mortars are way off, unless they mean to hit this tree line here. Maybe they spotted something and they just want to confirm it's down. But look at Astolfo, I think, took an artillery shell and is dead over here because we saw artillery landing in this area here. Ooh, nasty. 52 minutes remaining.
Warm welcome, shall we?
I'm out of water. All right, looks like that one Blue 4 guy woke back up. We'll probably see a double tap on this body. Finish him. I heard a medical sound. Capture him. Interrogate him for intel. Sounds like a plan. Oh, and they're immediately taking fire from Op 4 on the southern side. Alright, so it's a 2v2 skirmish, but it looks like the HMG Op 4 players are going to pull back here. As opposed to the massive difference between the Chad AKS-74s and the Wimpy Soy Boy AKS-74s. Oh, man. Chad, I love you guys. Even though we have a 15-minute delay, I love you guys. These tense little CQC moments, and you can see that they're right next to each other, but they're obscured. Line of sight-wise. Oh my god. Two T-90s on Overwatch here. BMP-3 firing from range. There was a vehicle taken out over here. Was that the third martyr? Yes, it was. It might have been sniped by the T-90s all the way down here, because that's all open. Or potentially from the BMP-3 with an ACGM round. we see multiple big canisters here indicating. Yep. Those shells coming out as they are barraging this position, which is the main base. These are HE rounds, too. Ooh. And they're starting to damage the trenches here. Oh, man. Great opening barrage. We got the MTLB on Overwatch. Looks like it's looking right here, though. What NASA server is this? It's Russian Black Magic servers, baby. It's Russian Black Magic servers. You gotta love them. The MTLB has pulled back a little bit, trying to give itself some distance, knowing that Blue 4 have pushed up and eliminated some of the Op 4 players around here. We're 65 to 80 now. I gotta commend Blue 4 for this counterattack. It's been doing a great job keeping that northern pincer pretty much pinned down right here. Op 4 is putting a lot of effort into the southern attack. But if Blue 4 can clean this northern group up quickly, they can then maneuver their forces to the southern group and still turn this around. Yes, Op 4 have a significant number advantage, but they are being defeated in detail right now as Blue 4 try to keep these groups separated and are doing their best to eliminate the northern group here. It's a great counterattack play by Blue 4, seeing where they can take advantage of something, even though they lost the heavy asset battle between the Leopards and the T-90s. Blue 4 is doing an excellent job. You know, there's also been plenty of healthy slow bits in this scenario that's allowed groups to regroup, and this is something that Arma does really well, simulating how combat actually works. You know, it's a lot of you engage, you pull back, you regroup, you reorganize, and then you push out again. And that's exactly what's been going on here. So, you know, with 220 players, you'd think thered be a lot more intense action, but no, it's just a lot of groups covering a lot more territory, and they're just fighting across the front, but this is how it's done. So you have plenty of moments to look out and see what's going on, where forces have repositioned, how the defenders are counterattacking. And as you can see, it is a lot of, you know, people are just kind of coming down and waiting here. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I don't know what that message means, but I do know what this means. Beep, 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 beep. Excellent! Spectator! I did it! Alright. So yeah, just a temporary hiccup on the server to stop all that. Numbers right now have maneuvered down to, I guess shrunk would be a better word. Shrunk down to 63 versus 75. So we still have about 140 players on this server. Down Russian here. German is checking on him. I wish I could understand Russian. Looks like server has mostly recovered here. Still a little bit of desync, but that is understandable considering the situation. You have... Oh, man, it was Control-Shift-B, if I remember correctly, for tracers. Still have some shots going forward here. And the one guy I'm tracking is all the way over here. He's an AI right now, probably because he's going to get reconnected ASAP. So, meanwhile, Blue 4, they've really started encircling this one area. They're trying to catch what remains of Op 4 in this area here. Op 4 have sent a squad around on this flank and are still trying to maneuver with their southern attack. And they're coming up with even more forces on the south. Looks like they're trying to put everything on the southern side to go in. So how this attack might work is Both of these sides are going to take heavy casualties. Op 4 might be able to break through with their vehicles to the south, though, and then Blue 4 is going to have to reinforce and move in, but the vehicles could deny them. So really, we just have the offensive side with all the vehicles in play here, but Blue 4 have a lot of their infantry really well guarded here, so... Still have that one guy scouting. You still have that artillery bunker back here. But it looks like they might have moved it at risk of it being engaged. They left a lot of the ammunition back there as well. And I love how you guys are still arguing about the the Leopards versus T90 thing about RHS versus whatchamacallit, the Bundeswehr mod. Autocannon fire coming in down here. As we see these vehicles engaging from range. Oh, man. Got a gas maneuver in the PK, excuse me, the MTLB maneuvering as well. Looks like Blue 4 is trying to get a line up to go see what that is. Oh, he's trying to run up with a Panzerfaust here. The little guy that could. Here he is. Let's go, Floster. Oh, he's got blue shades on, so it's giving me a blue 10. That's funny. I'm getting to another guy. And he is immediately getting shot to shit right here. And, yeah. Maybe that's why one guy running through an open field isn't the best idea. I could be wrong. You know, it's like Iander. AT in a dream, but unfortunately that dream has a lot of security around it. I have no idea what that orange text means, so I'm assuming it's telling me to have a wonderful day and thank you for my work. Ignorance is bliss. I appreciate that, Striking. Thank you, Knight. I don't even know what meme you're talking about, but you know what? I'm sure it'll come up eventually. You can tell me in 15 minutes. So Op 4 are gonna probably move down. Remember when I said earlier they're probably gonna move around here, get into this forested area, come around, get to this forested area, and use those areas to get in? That looks like that's exactly what they're trying to pull, and they're using their armored vehicles to lock down these open areas here. So they're bypassing the defense at Hanst. But I think the other pincer was supposed to maneuver up here and come around like where this force is, but they just got encircled and nearly eliminated outright. We got some smoke coming from a vehicle over here. That appears to be... a dingo. So another Blue 4 Vic down as Op 4 maintain that vehicle dominance. You got some skirmishing up here as stragglers fight each other to the death. But looking around, we don't really have much else other than a few stragglers really far out that might be replaced with AI at the moment. Nope, Marvin. Poor Marvin. He's an ORK player. I can't even find him in the roster. Oh, there he is. Can't see his kill count, though. That's okay. Alright, meanwhile, up here... They're up to Floster's body, and they took his Panzer. Aw, man. Silly, silly Russians. Yeah, more of that autocannon fire as they're engaging every fortified position they see with extreme prejudice. This poor man right here trying to hide behind his bunker as it's slowly destroyed. I think that means they're extending the time by 5 minutes because of that crash. Oh, we didn't need that 10 anyway. All right. I mean, overall, most of that northern group has been completely wiped. Numbers right now are 57 to 75. Most of Op4's remaining forces are down here at about a 50-man element. But you got to remember, a lot of these players are as tank crews. The actual infantry number, I would say Blue 4 outnumbers Op4 infantry by a ratio of, I'd say 1.5 to 1 at this point, possibly 2 to 1. But now that Blue 4 are completely folded back on their defensive lines, you have this really healthy line right here, and then this infantry force that encircled that area. Op4, yeah, they've got some guys directly on the north that could harass the areas directly. I'm just not sure this is enough to break through and take those checkpoints. Do we have a Russian right here? Nope, this was a German player potentially picked off by Armor. Now you have the T-90s committing to the north. With all 3 T-90s and 2 BMP-3s recommitting on the northern side, I guess to try to engage Blue 4 in the open as they pull back to a defensive line, since they've realized that this entire front has completely fallen apart. So here's the damaged one. All right, I gotta type real quick because I assume you guys got to the crash. Just to tell you guys to be patient. So we have a defensive formation right here as they're watching north, and immediately we're seeing them starting to snipe at infantry here. Oh my god. POV, you alert the Russian armor platoon. Oh my god. And they're still alive. Not for long, though. I feel like these Russian vehicles are gonna have something to say about that. Rounds are going a little far, but that's okay. Wow, you can see the rounds are ricocheting off the ground and going super high on this flat terrain. Looks like they're firing all the way out here as well. Possibly just firing at everything. I'm being poked by one of the admins right now, probably to tell me to rejoin. 1 second. It's totem already in. There's a 15-minute delay. Yes, I do believe this is using a weekly open game server instead of a Solitude server. And I wouldn't be surprised that, 1 second. Just poking the admin back. He's just making sure I'm okay, and back in, and yes, I am. He's just relying on the stream, which is, again, 15-minute delay, so. Whew. Let's see. wonder what they're shooting at in the air, though. Meanwhile, we have potentially one Op4 guy trying to make another. A few survivors from that northern side. Vehicles are now pulling back south to assist the remaining infantry squads of Op4 to push in. This is where one issue might occur for Op4, is they don't have enough infantry to push in, so they're forced to dismount vehicle crews as infantry, and Blue 4 just hunker down and occasionally pick them off. Because Blue 4 certainly have the infantry number advantage, but they started with an infantry number advantage because Op4 had more vehicle crews. So they had to commit at least another, like, 10 or so guys to vehicles. And Blue 4 was able to basically have an extra squad to work with. Which, granted, that got interrupted in the beginning of the match as you only had, 2 or 3 man scout teams for Op4 engaging, like, 6, 8 man Blue 4 groups and winning those fights. But as fighting and attrition have taken hold, looks like Op4 infantry have actually been losing a little more than they've hoped to bargain for. Got this marksman climbing around. Grauman's looking around. He can smell the German bratwurst on him. Uh-oh. BMP3 rushes in. Is it a vehicle charge? Yeah, they got 6 people in. They're going to charge up with a vehicle. Oh, yes! Yes! That's one of the mortar crates. How did it get all the way over here? I think all the cannon fire knocked all the mortar crates around. So you gotta remember, BMP3s, they have 2 frontal PKTs as well. AT just fired on the right, it was a miss. That was this gentleman over here, his round was short, but Russian forces now dismounting in the open. Not the best place to dismount, admittedly. Now you got the autocannon trying to assist the infantry firing at multiple different angles. Oh my god. I love how the tracer effects are lingering too, so it shows me where there was an engagement from in case the infantry pulled away, to react to suppression or whatnot. That, I think, is a really nice feature here. But you got smoke rounds by this Vic going off. Have a little bit of friendly fire up at a Russian vehicle firing at their own forces here. Kniespe also from the rear here. I butchered his name. Again, butcher shop. I love how I'm streaming a 220 event and half of you in chat are fighting over the tank configs in RHS. That's funny. Can't we just have fun? Look at all that suppressive fire going over here. Blue 4 getting knocked back. We just saw a smoke round take out a tree and ricochet off to the right. Some Op4 infantry doing their best to run up, but they're getting immediately taken out. Putting on the body marker there too, and you can see that Blue 4 have just been getting picked off where they can. Look at this. Just got a hit on Tofux there. He quickly gets down. This guy must be shitting bricks right now. He's right in the middle of the Russian push. Got multiple BMPs pushing up here. But I'll address what's going on in chat during our intermission, alright? I want to focus on the combat here. So we still have a few guys down. BMP's right on top of that one player, but they're focusing on the Overwatch element here. Northern group's also starting to come in. Blue 4 now trying to commit a massive flank attack from the side, but I think the vehicles are going to stop them from maneuvering in because they're coming through these open areas. Meanwhile, there's been another BMP push, and now you have the infantry charging. It's Zicky's group from OFCRA. Of course they'd pull something offensive like this. Madbug almost gets run over by his own BMP. Had a freaking ATGM round from the BMP-3 fire overhead. But this assault is getting nuts. But now that they're getting up to this trench line, that's going to suppress Blue 4 over here and stop them from firing at the main groups coming over. And you still have this marksman hiding back here. And more infantry are still pushing, but because of that heavy vehicle support, and Blue 4 doesn't have any decent vehicle countermeasures here because they've been taken out. You have a lot of Blue 4 trying to do an encirclement right here, but the vehicles are going to stop the infantry in their tracks. And now you've got Op4 starting to get right on top of these defensive positions here. More dismounts. They're coming back here to hide in some of their bunkers. You know, Mad Dog, Op is good. For what it is, trust me, I've seen bad balance in PvP and I've seen good balance. And I think the only thing lacking here is some long-range AT on the infantry side for both groups. Because otherwise, if one side just heavily engages the other side's armor and wins, regardless of how they're configured, this is what tends to happen. But at the same time, you want to reward stuff like that if one side is able to completely outperform the other. So it's dealer's choice at that point. But now you got all these Op4 guys coming in from the south. With what infantry they still have left, Blue 4 trying to maneuver things in, but on the northern side, you got Op4 also coming in. Lots of grenades and GLs have been thrown around here, but look at this bunker maze that Blue 4 has dug. That's amazing. And you got artillery landing over here to take out anything from this trench line is here. This could very well be a Russian victory, but the Russians slow down on Op4. Then Blue 4, the Germans are going to be able to come back in and assist, but this vehicle support is nasty. You just saw this bunker get cleared out by grenades. Both those guys in cover, but amazing what a single grenade can do. And then you still have the vehicles pinning down the southern group of infantry here to keep them from coming into the AO, and then you have another group of vehicles suppressing the northern group of infantry coming in as well. They're just trying to make sure they do not overcommit and get taken out, so that's why you see them cautiously pulling back where they can, as Blue 4 desperately try to route forces back to defending the actual sectors themselves. But now you have BMPs coming around on the northern side to assist their sister BMP on the north. But I think Op4 are going to get this objective lockdown. 23 minutes remaining, but Op4 have a lot of feet in the door already. They just have to lock down the remaining defenders. So I have to commend what Blue 4 has done, but it's just not enough. Op 4 were able to take out too many Blue 4 vehicles early on. And as you can see, there's too many Blue 4 infantry hiding. Oh my god, you're firing back at the tank. I mean, at that point, what can you do if the T-90 sees you? Oh my god. It's just a slaughter. And I think here you're allowed to run over the infantry if you see them. But what can you do? The tank sees you. So that's one of the zones being captured by Op 4 as they have full control of it. They've taken a good chunk of casualties here, though, admittedly. There you go, that zone being contested. Excuse me. Op 4 trying to move up. You've got grenades blowing up structures here. Multiple Blue 4 down. Oh, BMP-3 takes a hit and is taken out. Just goes to show some of the Op 4 vehicles are getting overconfident and taken out by the remaining defenders of Blue 4 here. Yeah, they ran up. He took that vehicle out and he immediately folded down here because he's trying to evade that gunfire. And that is one sector taken. We have another group coming in down here. They got to be careful because they're taking a lot of flanking fire over here, so they're doing their best to pop smoke. And it's hurting these guys here. They shouldn't have dismounted so far out. You got a Gaz that pushed up, Omelet going flying, and he's dead. Oh, he gets killed by the physics of Arma. Doesn't that suck? Let's see, Op 4 now in the process of capturing that zone as well. I think this game is going to be over in just a few minutes as that northern garrison fights to maintain control. 45-second timer going down. But, I mean, it's also in fact that there is a tank right here. Oh, no! He tried to get in the middle of the tracks, but he was too tall! And he still got bulldozed by the tank! Oh, no! The tank's just coming around and sniping who it can. And that's stopping the reinforcements from coming in. Meanwhile, Op 4, they're only down to a handful of dudes here. Blue 4 were only down to, I think, 5. They're down to 3. They've kept it even. So that's the hardest garrison to get, but Blue 4 need to be pulling more infantry over to this garrison since the other two have been taken. Armor can continue to stop any Blue 4 infantry from coming in, but at this point, anyone in the sector needs to fall back to the northern sector to help hold it. But Op 4 still have 2 BMPs overwatching, unless they moved one of them, which they might have. After another one was taken out, there were 3 up here. So I think 1 BMP's gone down to secure everyone here. They're going to drive around and then get into that northern capture zone. So Blue 4's doing a good job of slowing down where they can, but I mean, just look at all those black texts out there. All of the bodies. A lot of the fighting was over there. A good chunk of the fighting is here as Blue 4's desperately trying to pull back, but they're getting eliminated by vehicles. Again, because a lot of Blue 4 Vics were taken out way too quick. Now you got the BMP right here with Zicky's community charging up. They're going to reinforce this northern side. That was the final martyr that got taken out right up there. See, it's unfortunate because I think they're suppressing their own dudes right here. You got a Gaz coming around on the other side. That was the group that took that other sector. It's just you're getting lightning warfare at this point. Some true blitzkrieg. Ironically, it's being done against the Germans, but now you got this force now sweeping through the middle of this sector. There's the Gaz dismount. They are taking heavy fire, even some friendly fire. Gunner, I think, was just knocked out from the top. And here's the final zone being captured because they completely outnumber the remaining guys in that sector, similar to how FNF does it. And it's GG, in all honesty. There are just way too many forces in this sector, and it's over. Just the absolute chaos. Wow. The tank driving in last second.